problem, right?
No problem.
Okay, guys, we are live. Hey, good Wednesday evening. Today I'm here at Glenn's Ang's gym. It's called Raw SG Active SG.
Raw active SG. Oh, raw active.
Raw Active SG.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Great. So Glenn actually is the owner of this gym itself. He
Yes.
graduated, with exercise and sports science degree.
Yes.
And he founded this place in 2017.
17, yeah.
17. Okay, that's
Say
very
17.
Okay.
December 2016.
All right. So he has really 14 years of elite personal training experience, and he was also previously in some fitness role at Fitness First.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think overall he has very extensive experience, and I think Glenn's experience not just in Singapore,
Yeah.
right? So I think he has actually coached and educate more than 320 fitness personnel, right?
Yeah. So professional. So not only client. No, this one is trainers. So
training the trainers, right?
Yeah. So I conducted some workshop there to train the trainers.
All right. So I think Glenn is also the only personal trainer to have won the prestige Personal Trainer of the Year award twice in Asia. Yes, super. Okay, so that actually really cements his reputation as one of the most respected trainers in the industry in Asia, right?
Asia.
Okay. Not just in Singapore. Okay. So I think Glenn's commitment to continuous improvement and perseverance is reflected in his anti-gym
Concept.
approach. This is something that I really want to ask about.
Want me to answer it now?
Yeah, okay, you can. I mean, this is the approach, and this is actually a unique philosophy that I was coming across and actually challenge like conventional gym. Practices kind of thing. I think you can explain about this anti-gym. I'm quite sure that people will be very interested to know what this anti-gym concept approach that you are talking about.
So anti-gym itself is not really say I'm against gym. Okay, it's not about that. It's more about creating a balance. So think about superhero. Then we have Superman on that, the mainstream people. Then you have anti-hero like Deadpool coming next month. One of my anti-hero. So one thing what we look at anti-gym itself is we want to. It's like yin and yang. You want to create a balance. So when you talk about gym, you talk about all this strength training.
Yeah.
You talk about high intensity training. So, but we also want to keep in mind, right? When we look at training, it cannot be always biased to one extreme. We want to create a balance. Balance in terms of what? Balance. Make sure like your joints are working efficiently. There is a concept called compression. So when your joints are very compressed, it also means there's lack of space. So if you see an X-ray, you may see a healthy joint have a bit of space, like a ball socket. But those with a bit of issue, they have very not much space, and the joint are grinding the bone itself.
Okay.
So creating a balance means we want to create space in the joint, so the person can move efficiently for life. I'm a believer of having a person to be able to perform at a high level, at a very sustained ability. So even let's say you train at 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, you're still able to train.
So despite the age constraints.
Because a lot of people think about age as I getting older, I should do lesser.
Yeah.
I think nowadays when you look at social media, it kind of show that the other side, there are some like I think there's a 90 plus years old Japanese guy who still do snow skiing down the mountain. So I think it's a healthy perception of that. As you age, you shouldn't be limiting what you can do.
So it's more towards the way that they do their daily exercise kind of thing, or
it's one thing also, because let's say you're doing very restrictive movement, like just train all the time. You train your bicep, just be bigger. it's good for aesthetic, but in points, let's say, over time you have, if you're working one area too often, they tend to have wear and tear. So when you look at wear and tear, you also look at, I mean, in TCM they say lack of 风 or lack of qi, which means there's lack of
Yeah,
blood
you can
flow.
speak Mandarin. That's right.
Oh yeah, I can speak Mandarin as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
qi,
supposed to. Yeah.
blood flow, or in Western we call lack of blood flow.
Mm.
So creating good circulation, creating a more holistic balance of movement, I think is one of the key things about that. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. So, I mean, you are also, I mean, you are focusing on these kind of areas in terms of the injury
Yeah.
portion of it. So typically, like, what kind of like injuries of like of
Okay.
people that
Main
you have come
top two in
across
my
now?
top two in my mind would be lower back problem. That's most common.
Lower back
Lower
problem.
back pain, and then knee. These two are more common. So like knee pain, like they can have ACL or journey, they do anything, squatting down, they feel the pain.
Okay.
Or lower back pain. Lower back pain is
And
most,
it may not necessarily be because of like due to sports kind of thing, or it could be just because of.
really depends.
Huh?
Really
Really
depends.
depends.
There are cases. There are two types: acute and chronic. Acute means it's that instant that caused the issue. Like someone tackle you on the knee when you play soccer. That's we call it acute. Okay, that one. That one. Of course, you will go to the physio. Then after that, then he will say, okay, you're clear to move. Okay. Second part would be chronic, means it's a certain habits of movement that you do over time. Maybe for the first 5 times no issue, but maybe after 10 years, you start to have maybe I got weird things. I walk, I cracking, or I walk, I feel discomfort. What happened? That's one other thing that I talk about. But then the common thing, whether you have acute or when you have chronic, is when you injure, right, especially the acute injury, your body will kind of have a new movement habits that compensate because you lost some tissue, something are broken or that. Then over time, you and a person with a chronic issue have a similar issue lah. Over time, you can have pain again.
Yeah.
So I always, when I was a trainer, last time I was so confused. Like, yeah, of physio. Then he trained, like, we be careful. First thing as a trainer, I avoid doing certain things. But then the person still has a bit of issue with that. I'm like, what happened? So I dive into curiosity of helping people with that. And over time, we kind of find out, like every approach must think like differently. Because like one person, 3% having the same joint issue, you may need to apply differently.
Differently.
Yeah. So this is how we put a very customized approach, because knee pain doesn't mean there's only one way to cure or make it better.
But how do you actually, I mean, of course, understood in terms, how do you actually really assess? I mean, someone that comes to you and say, I have this problem, and then like, I mean, understood on the part of customized, but how do you roughly assess the kind of?
Okay, one thing, I think over time, if you're very seasoned, like 15 years, I like to. I remember last time I was young, I was 24. Oh, some people 40, the clients are 40, they're doing, a bit old, And now it's my turn to be 40. So back to that, when I think over time we are kind of hyper sensitive to the way to move. So when a person walk, I can get a sense, okay, which areas have a bit of a problem.
So that means age could be one part that you would roughly.
My experience, I say, but that's my experience. So when you're walking, right, sometime when you walk, you may feel that a bit of limping on the left. They kind of know, okay, I think there's some areas on the left side. The big guess would be the hip or that. Then from there, we will do. I always tell the client, let's do some warm up. But my trick is, I don't want to tell a person that you're doing a test. If you try to do a test, people are like, okay, I want to be very perfect.
Okay.
So our colleague say, let's do a warm up first. For the warm up, let's say if you lunge forward and back, okay, you see this is okay. Then maybe from here, okay, a bit restrictive. Then you know, okay, it's certainly somewhere on the right side because there be an issue.
Okay.
So when we assess the movement, we look the overall movement as a whole person. Then from there we kind of guess, okay, based on this, I think it's around the hip area. Then we isolate movement around the hip to see, okay, but I also say it's a warm up. Or let's do this. Then you kind of know from there, okay, it's certainly on the right areas, it's a bit more jam. Then we will tackle around that aspect of that.
Okay.
But the trick is we really want to have the client not think of it as a rehab session itself. Because I think I shared to some of the people about my business. I just don't want people to feel like patients. I want to make sure when they do, they have challenges. They feel like they are getting fitness, but they're also getting some of the things that's a bit relief.
Okay. So you want to make them feel like they are like a patient.
Yeah, I don't like. I mean, there are cases I need to do the lying down thing where I do some of the massage. I mean, there are some cases, but as much as I can, I want them to move because if they move, they strengthen the body, they strengthen. We should be most of the time be more upright, standing, moving, walking, playing, all that. But if you're able to get them to move correctly, of course, more often, I think this kind of problem will be lesser. And they also bring them to a potential I can actually do more stuff rather than sitting down on the computer to do the job.
Yeah. Could be usually like a work hazard kind of stuff.
I mean, work hazard is very often.
Yeah, it's often. But but most the people that comes to you are usually more, I guess, like sports related kind of like.
I mean, there are ex-sports people.
Ex-sports people.
Back in the past, I mean, there are still leisure golfer. We have some clients are leisure golfers.
Okay.
But though they do 2-3 times a week.
So what's typically, I mean, in terms of like people, people who comes to you, you access them, and like, of course, I guess depending on the seriousness of maybe their injury, I guess that would determine like how long they need to take to recover or become fitter or in a way. So typically it's like maybe you like to let people know about typically how long or maybe what kind of frequency that you will look at in terms of this kind of route to recovery.
Usually I will always recommend 2 times, and then they will say why not 1 time. Then I always advise. So you think about exercise, right? You give a response to a system, then your body will respond. You kind of like you trigger something, you will have a response. But then once you let it rest down more than let's say 3 days, it kind of decline performance. So when you trigger it increase a bit, then you drop out. So when you do 2 times, you try the hit where before you drop, then you increase again. So over time, it's so more
2
like
times. It's like you referring to like 2 times a week.
2 times, for certain people, for the time it's 3 times. And then durations really depend on. First thing, what we have here. Let's say even we train 2 times a week, that is 2 hours once a week. There's a single-digit percentage of work. So we always ask certain questions. Like
questions? What kind of questions?
Like I would say about always talk about what you eat. Because whatever you eat, right, I always ask them to notice, do you feel any food that make you a bit more bloated or more sensitive?
Okay.
That one will kind of irritate. If you have food that irritate you, you also will irritate your system. That will also slow down recovery.
So diet is actually also part of the advice that you will give to your clients.
I mean, I will talk about more. I'm not like going into weigh like a kilogram of food. Don't do that. But give a general guideline. What would be
some general guidelines in
some
terms
general
of the
guideline.
diet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then what how's the sleep? Because to me, sleep, if you look at the pyramid of recovery, sleep is the most important. It's not your ice bath, I know you see like a cold purge. It's like, wow, this is a game changer. This one is a very minimum change. The biggest change that gonna influence, first thing how you recover is actually your sleep. That will be very important. So this is a question I'll ask. What time do you sleep? Why do you sleep so late? Is it got to do with what? No. Then I usually will coach them like I will not ask them if they sleep at 3 and say go to 10. I mean that's a 5 hours. I will ask them, why don't you try 1 hour? Sleep at 2, it works. Okay, let's sleep at 1. Then slowly progress to a better time.
Okay, so it doesn't. So it seems like you are more towards like really a holistic kind of person to try to help your clients. Just on the.
I mean, over time, initially, I thought. I mean, as a young trainer, back 10 plus years ago, I always believe whatever I do can really impact. Then always find out. I give the best training. The person doesn't really have some result. The person doesn't really improve. What happened? Then I learned actually you need to look at other
aspects of
because this is
lifestyle.
Because the 24 hours, right? Like even like 1 day itself, 1 hour, how much can you influence? This other thing like your sleep, what you eat, or your daily movement. If the whole day, right, your job is just to sit down for the whole day, I think that's a bit of an issue.
Okay, so I think having to look overall wise, because I mean the thing is like it's just like if you are just focusing on the fitness portion of it, or then I mean if let's say there's because they didn't recover as fast or they didn't recover at all just because that they have other underlying issues that that you could have highlighted, then it becomes like maybe they just feel like Glenn, it's not training is not working, kind of stuff. So I think the holistic approach whereby you are looking at seems like
the exercise itself is your work. So we have this equation of work. This is your workout or your daily movement plus rest. It's how you sleep, how you de-stress also. De-stress is also one part of rest. You combine these together, it goes to success. This is always the mantra we have. Work very hard, but also rest very hard. These two must come hand in hand. Yeah.
So in that case, like then I mean, when you're looking at a more holistic approach, in that sense, so okay, I mean, of course, you do advise customers with regards to like sleep or stuff. But do you work with like some partners? In a sense, like working with them. In any case, like maybe certain aspects that you might need to refer them to.
So certain extent, I do refer to physio or certain massage therapists because certain cases are more unique. Like certain case, I mean, I cannot be all knowing. If I'm all knowing, okay, I'm great. But there are also certain limitations one can do. And I know some other people are higher skilled, specialized as in massage therapy. But also it's very important that the profession we work with, we can speak the same language. And that's very important. If we rely on that, okay, it's a good synergy of that. I also think of working with nutritionists to help with that as well. Because I think it's one thing to have a profession who know about that.
Okay. I mean that's quite a novel approach from what I see.
Because we cannot always say we. I mean, there's even though like I learned in the sports science.
Correct.
We did touch on sport nutrition, but we must also think about we are only spending a month duration learning about it, but there are people who spend 3-4 years,
their whole life.
3-4 years, not 3-4 years in the nutrition. I think that give a bit of different level of details. Certain like think nutrition have their place because if you prescribe something that the client may potentially be allergic to, then cause a disease or that, then you not know because I think nutrition is very it's not it looks simple, but I think there are main factor to look into.
Okay, that's okay, that's cool. Understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about like I mean, I'm quite sure that you have a lot of success story.
Oh
Yeah, maybe you can share like maybe one particular one that you have the most best impression that comes to you, and then like just I mean you have already explained in terms of the kind of approach, but maybe you can explain a little bit more towards maybe people can relate to, and then then maybe they can feel that maybe
Share two lah. One
Okay.
is
okay
so
sure.
one is a lady. She's a Parkinson's disease. So I was looking to help my brain main thing right. Through exercise, you can help to strengthen the muscle because usually when they talk about Parkinson, they lost the control of their muscle movement. So we use the power plate, which is a very strong vibration platform. It stimulate muscle. So we doing that. Throughout the process, is really sometimes very frustrating because it be like, but also I can understand the frustration. You ask them to put your right leg forward. They can look at your feet and try to move your right feet forward. It's take about 10 seconds to try to move it.
Okay.
So it made me as a person to appreciate that if we can move, it's really a key. But over time, she actually shared with me there's a moment. There is a moment. I think within 1 month, there is a moment I can control my movement for 5 seconds. And then it go back. Okay, so it's a good happy moment and it's a sad moment after that. I'm like, oh my god, I was like tearing of it.
But that 5 seconds, even though it's short, but I think it's something that she has never experienced that before, right?
And now she can dance. Now she can dance. So I find it very meaningful that even through the intense of help gain strength, so she can move a bit better. Actually empower her to able to move more. The other one would be actually I got a lot of cases.
Okay, but I want to ask
Yeah.
I mean just like this lady, right?
Yeah.
She has this Parkinson issue.
Yes.
So she came to you because she has the issue, or it's like you already know her?
I asked a friend,
Uh,
do you know if anyone have Parkinson okay to experiment? Well, I was thinking like
So
let's
you
do
actually-
some charity on that.
So you are really looking out for people of such
Yeah.
problem, and you are looking at how you can help them.
Yes.
Okay. So in that case, it's like okay. Another question is like usually for that. I mean, how I mean, of course, you use your whatever techniques, things,
correct,
weights, or whatever kind of stuff to help them.
Weight's not really.
Not weights.
Body weight. Body weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's body weight. So on that basis, like how do you actually really differentiate that as compared to like therapies, physiotherapies? It's kind of like different things, or is it a fine line, or is it something that is really different from what you're
Okay. It's certain aspect, right? Let's say we focus on training or movement. I think movement would be very hard to see because certain clients say, "Hey, I did this in my physio." I'm like, "Oh, so this is a rehab strengthening exercise." But it really depends country to country. Some clients who based in Hong Kong, they will say, "Hey, you're training a bit like Hong Kong physio." I'm like, "Okay, that's hard." This training. What I try to say is training. I mean, something may look similar, but I will not say I'm a physio. I will never say I'm teaching a physio. But the approach is really simple. I want you to move in certain area more correctly. My goals is to make sure your joint, when you move this way, you create a bit more space in the joint. So there's more space. it's more lubricant, you can move a bit more smoother without much pain. That's a main principle of that. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people when you think of therapy is just lie down and get the treatment. There's some machine that
I mean,
some
different types.
there are similar types, but I try not to call it therapy. Yeah, it's more like we create rehab training for them.
Okay.
But also depend if it's very somebody have let's say knee issue, can't really move much. We try some hands-on sport massage and we go to movement. If you're trained, then we work.
So that lady, after that 5 seconds of happiness, did she continue or?
Yeah. I mean, we do it for 3 months, and actually on the 4th month, she really can walk properly.
Okay, that's quite amazing.
Yeah.
So it's really
For
something
sure,
that like she must be very happy after.
Bloody happy.
Bloody happy.
Okay. Not happy. Yeah, I'm also very happy like tearing.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite amazing. It's quite. I mean, it's an amazing story.
So I think this kind of thing make it more meaningful. That maybe you want to go long into the industry itself. Because that's why we have a slogan, breakthrough together. It's always believing that both the trainer and the client work together to break through together. Me as a person, I always believe everyone need to always continually improve, but also we also want to help client itself to also level up. Yeah, because if especially those we pay, right, they always put them as a cap, or I can only do this, I cannot do that, I cannot do this small box. But once you uncap it, there's more potential of what you can do. Hey, I'm 57, but let's try, heck it, let's try to run. I never run in my life, then you go and run. Or let's do more stuff. So I got clients who last time very introvert, don't like to show arms. He said my arms very skinny or that. Now
I used
like
to be
60,
one.
it's 60 something. I only want to go sleeper, I want to show my arm. So it's not just a breakthrough the level up, but also give you more confidence to say, hey, there are more things I can do in life. I think
by going through this, you are able to give them more confidence.
Hope.
Hope only.
No, and hope. Hope.
Okay.
No, hope we need. Yeah.
Okay. That's very great. So in terms of this message, I mean, I can feel that you really want to help this group of people. So far, how do you reach out to people in for the time being?
For people, you also look to Google search us. Once in a while, there are people who are on the same blog. Hey, you're doing fitness, yeah. Okay. Then we chit chat. Then referral, of course, I refer as well. And the gist about it is like that.
I guess. So most of them are like referrals to you. Okay, that's nice, because I think ultimately the main thing is like if your personal goal in terms of what Raw want to achieve, in the manner of helping people, not just on the fitness wise, but people with some constraints in terms of pain wise, on how you level them up, to be able to improve their quality of life. Right? I think that is something that I think those group of people would, ultimately, I guess they will always be moving around trying to find a solution. They could have been seeing like a TCM or whatever kind of solutions. I guess it's like you yourself probably today. I mean, people who come across this video, would know that like you offer them another options for them to.
Because honestly, because I know how you're going through. Because sometimes when I was in competitive powerlifting, there are things that we do like the same movement. Like I love to do deadlift a lot. So I mean, back then we do a lot of that. Then when I hurt my back, I can really feel how powerless I am. It's like getting up on the bench, I need to support over, then I walk.
How old
I
was
walk like
how old
it
was
was 27.
Wow, okay. So at the age of 27 and you feel a bit helpless at the point.
I really feel helpless. I mean, it's a moment of 2 months, like that shooting pain or that. Then you try to work, you try to smile, but you cannot really smile because it's so painful. I think this is. Let me put in the shoes of the clients that have it. So it kind of humble me, but also let me be more active, have empathy of them as well. So it kind of feel, oh, this is how you feel. So that's why people think like they cannot do this or that, because you really feel that sense of pain. They give you a kind of drop your confidence that okay, I shouldn't move too far. Okay, let's walk smaller steps.
I mean, the thing is like people. I mean, naturally when they feel pain, they will want to stop. People tends to, not to push them a little bit more. I mean, that's quite human nature in a sense. So I think really, I mean, of course, with you guys, I mean, trying to help these people. I think not just on that, I guess a lot on mental motivation, pushing them. If not, it's like even though you can help them, but mentally, if they are not prepared to do so, and then they kind of like, oh, I feel pain, or maybe just feel tired, whatever kind of thing, they will just give up halfway. So, okay. So currently you have like various trainer, or you are the one that's
I have various trainers.
Various trainers. Okay. Or okay. Helping you on this basis.
Helping you on this. Yes,
working with
I always
you.
believe there are talent out there. I mean, I can't be the one about that. It's not interested but
okay.
just all
People know.
I can't be. But I always believe there are people who are very good. I mean, we have a new trainer also, but he's also quite experienced. So he's more about physique or that. So I mean, there are people who have a bit of issue, but they want to also look good in the body. So usually I also pass client who want to go for that thing as well. But there are also people who want to go purely, like say, rehab or more complex case. And then I pass to the other one as well. Okay. So I'm the more in between. More in between. Maybe they want to more, want to feel stronger, or they want to, let's say, reduce a bit of pain, but able to move a little bit more balanced. I think I'm more like an in between person on that. Yeah. But also in my business, I'm more like business development. Also, I'm a marketing.
Okay. So I think really, I think beside the point that I think you mentioned earlier about the anti-gym portion approach, and then also at the same time, mentioning about really focusing on people who have some constraints of pain that looking at improving their quality of life. I think this is really what I felt is a unique selling point for your gym, for your place. It's
because there's actually a lot of people having this issue. There's a lot of people.
I do hear people talking about like having like pain here and there, but most of the time I would usually hear people talking about like they have pain, maybe they just go to TCM, do some 针灸 or something like that. That's the kind of usual things that people would do. But somehow I think from the kind of your approach ways in terms of using your
I think if you look at my concept itself, we have the treatment or like physio TCM at this spectrum. Then you got people who want to go fitness, I want to lose weight or want to gain muscle or that. So over at the extreme. So what we feed in the
center portion.
So it's kind of like you cannot go for kindergarten to uni immediately, right? We are in between. We go from primary, secondary, and tertiary. Then you go to your uni.
All right.
So there's a general build up from here to here. There's a general build up.
So I think that time, I guess in the past, you have really seen this missing link in terms of what people are looking out for.
Correct.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So, well, so I think in terms of the things, so is there kind of like some um, um, latest trend in terms of what you're doing or some technology kind of stuff? Because just now you were saying that you go to some kind of conference kind of thing. So is there kind of like something that is new kind of thing coming up?
Okay.
Or
So if you're in my age of 40, see, so I didn't think about that once in my 30s. So I'm going to reach 40. So I was always thinking about how to make my body, okay, first thing feel younger, how to make uh, I'm a big thing in recovery. So there are certain things that kind of experiment. I mean, I go over there and have a feel of it.
global, wait, you mean the
The conference, there are some people have some improvement. There are some things like I'm a big thing in if you're able to help to improve the sleep a lot. I think that's what. So there are some specialized bit.
okay, I sell bits.
Yeah. But it's more like a therapy bit.
Okay,
Like a
yes.
therapy.
Yes.
So if you want mattress, like customize for you, get it. But you want a therapy bit, which is very expensive. There are some they have this special vibration and
Special vibration bit.
and they have the alpha beta sounds to get your body to really relax from that. They are different. They are different.
That one is really like
yeah, they cannot use for every day.
that one is really a sleep therapy kind
Yeah,
of
sleep
service.
therapy. So
Okay,
I come
cool.
into that or red lights. There's now they have a lounge chair right, that I mean red lights. You know red light therapy, right? So red light therapy can help in your cell health or that. So there's actually a lounge chair for you to lie down and have a red light emitted on your body.
Okay, but do you? I mean, are you looking into the direction of having? I mean, of course, now you have all the equipments here for people.
I look into that
So
because I think
are you looking at expanding your place to include like all the various things that you are talking about? Like having all the various equipment, like a one-stop solution for people to.
I wish there's such thing as unlimited capital, but I mean, in terms of business, we need to manage operation, like start out. But there's something that, of course, in my heart, I always want to have not just a place that's focused on recovery, but I feel that if you isolate that, then people will just believe recovery is key. Yeah. I think training and recovery must come hand in hand. So if I could afford a few millions, I may want to do this.
Okay, so
So
you guys heard him. So any investors out there who heard this, okay, I think Glenn has really a good concept about exactly what.
If you do this, is it'll be one of the first in Singapore, but really have the integrated recovery in the training. I think there's not much places can do that.
I mean, it's really not. I mean, it's recovering, but I guess it's the main gist of it. From what I get from you, is really about improving the quality of life.
Yes.
Right. I think that's more important because
fundamental.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you are not someone that like lying on the bed and stuff. I mean, you do have some kind of issue here and there, but not to the extent that like a very bad. But I guess really going through this kind of improving your fitness, improving the recovery would really drastically improve your overall quality of life. And as what Glenn has mentioned, that would allows you not just like in the 40s, 50s, even at 60s or 70s, you will still be able to be active and be able to be agile and move quite well, right? That's what I understand from you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's very very great. So, well, before we sign off, I mean, is there any last message you want to bring across to people about your place? About Raw, and then like any shout out you would like to tell the audience?
So never be constrained of you can only do this or that based on your current situation. I think it is sometimes right. we do offer free trial over here, but if you think
Free trial. Okay.
for one free trial,
Okay.
so the experience of the training itself. But the key thing is that we try to step out of comfort zone. Just a small step. Like if you never jog before, you can jog a bit itself or walk faster or that. Because you never know what can you bring you to. If you are becoming fitter, you can do more things. I think you also internally you can have more potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
So those people who has like maybe not been doing exercise, or maybe not doing not enough exercise, or maybe they are not doing exercise because they just feel like, oh, if I jog a bit then I feel some pain kind of stuff. I mean, this would be probably your ideal people that like they maybe they want to, but just that like they have no motivation to push that to do that. So
maybe
I think
there's a fear lah. Maybe there's a fear.
I'm not sure. Maybe fear or maybe pure lazy. I'm not sure. But okay, but anyway, I think Glenn is definitely the person to go to in terms of this area. So people who are really wanted to move out of the comfort zone, do a little bit more, I guess Glenn will be the best person to advise you on how to approach that.
Yeah, you also can PM me my IG.
Okay, you
IG or Facebook?
Yeah, you can let them know
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
your
yeah,
IG
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Okay, if
Can.
anyone want to link up with Glenn.
Just look for Raw Glenn in IG.
Okay, anyway, I will also share that at the comments of the video.
Yes.
Okay, but okay, you can either based on, I think I already shared your website as well. So, but in any case, if you want to look for him, you can also try to reach out to me as well. I can connect you guys with Glenn, and
the website also has my WhatsApp, so you can use that.
Right, he's a very approachable guy.
Yeah, just approach me. You can ask me any questions.
All right. Okay, Ken. Thanks a lot, Glenn, for spending your evening with me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that people are very happy to hear the kind of work that you're doing. Very unique. And I hope you get your investment, and I hope that you will set up your place for the first in Singapore in near future. Yes. Okay. All right. Thanks, Glenn.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
On Pink Talks, and Glenn is the guys that I'm connecting to you guys tonight. So I will see you guys again next week. Ciao, and have a good evening.
Ciao.
Bye.